State your name. And that's it?
Sarah Bielawski.
Okay, and what grade are you in?
I'm a freshman at CU Boulder, and I'm majoring in advertising.
Okay, there we go, cool. Wow. This interview is for an exercise in the course that I'm taking this semester. For the purposes of this exercise, do you consent to being interviewed and recorded?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, I would like to learn about your experience of the natural world. So, during a typical week, how often do you get to experience nature?
I would say during a typical week, I try to experience nature as much as possible, except for cold and wind.
That's fair.
I try to, if it's not doing either of those, I try to be outside most of my days, whether it's in a hammock, on a bench, sitting outside with friends.
Okay. So yeah, the next question was going to be, where do you go and what do you do? So just elaborate.
Yeah, here I love going to Chautauqua. At home I love going to this little lake in Princeton, New Jersey. I love just like sitting by the lake and like going for a run and then like taking breaks at like cool scenic overlooks and stuff like that.
Okay. How do you feel and how is the experience different from not being in the natural world?
I'm a firm believer that nature is like better therapy than chocolate or anything, any of those sort of quotes. Nature is just one of those things that can make your day a lot better. Like the whole deal with like seasonal depression is such a thing. Like people are obviously like a little bit more upset when it's like a gloomy day outside, and obviously like people are just more excited about being alive when it's like a really nice spring day or summer day. So I'm a firm believer in like you're feeling your best when the weather's your best.
Can you tell me about a time you realized that you were immersed in nature?
So about a year ago I went and visited Arizona for the first time, and my aunts and uncles live there, so I went on a hike, and we went on like a 6-mile hike, and at the top it was like a complete 360 view. So like I guess that's like the epitome of being surrounded by nature, but also just like being able to sit up there for as long as you possibly want and just like think your own thoughts and like deal with basically nothing.
What is the opposite of nature, and can you tell me about a time you were immersed in that?
The obvious way I would look is the indoors. However, when you're alone, like solitude, and like basically in this dorm, you can't get less natural than this dorm. But at a time where I was like really, really tired all the time, I would just like sit like on the couch like at all times, like literally deal with nothing in the outside world. So I guess like that's like the closest I get, but nature makes me happy, and I feel like a lot of people it's like weather, but like honestly like I'm happier laying on the grass than laying in my bed, despite the fact that I'm allergic to grass.
Okay. So I understand you're a vegetarian. How has that brought you closer to nature, and why did you decide to stick with this diet?
I became a vegetarian just because, honestly, the idea of meat just started grossing me out. But then I came here, and like half of Boulder is vegetarian or vegan or on some sort of diet. So, it got really easy to stick with this diet, and then it got me closer to nature just because like people will just assume that, oh, you must be an animal person if you're a vegetarian, and like while I am, it's kind of made me more of one. Just having the beliefs and the diet that I'm on, it's really hard not to be an animal person essentially.
Okay. What are your views on zoos?
Ha! Wow, I can go off on this topic, and I hate zoos and aquariums and anything that deals with captivity, and I'm just a big believer in, like, if someone stuck me in this dorm room right now and told me I had to stay there and socialize with anyone that, like, was put into this place, I'd be like, you're dumb. Like, you are just, like, that's just, like, the worst thing you could possibly do to, like, a person,
Isn't
a
that
thing.
college?
Yes. No, but, like, having no say in your surroundings is just the worst thing.
If you would consider, like, animals are put in their natural, like, are you crying?
Sorry.
Like, animals are put in a version of their natural habitat, but just in smaller proximity. Like, why is that so bad as opposed to being, like, in nature when they are in nature, in a sense?
I guess, like, I just think about the fact that, like, if you're an elephant, like, you should not be in, like, a mile square footage. Like, if you're, like, a cheetah, you are meant to run, not run, like, laps. Like, it's not, like, you can't put these animals in, like, a gym. Like, I don't...
With that being said, what are your views on household pets? Should they be let free outside in their origins? Why or why not?
I mean, domesticated pets are, like, a different situation just because, like, if you're the correct type of pet owner, like, you make them almost a part of your family, and I think that's, like, the luckiest thing an animal can get. Like, if they're not with their own family, they should be with another family. It's just kind of, like, it's weird to me, like, thinking of animals, like, as family, but I know that a lot of people do it, and I think that being a domesticated animal, that's, like, a perfect thing, and if you're a domesticated animal, you shouldn't be let loose because, like, that's just not what you have been, like, bred into.
So has being close with nature and being a vegetarian affected you spiritually? How so?
Last year I had this kick where I just wanted to be the most spiritual person you can possibly be. So I started studying Buddhism, and I started being a vegetarian, and honestly, like, I've strayed away from that just because I don't want to be the stereotypical Boulder hippie. I would say that living the lifestyle that I do in the place that I do it, I've become a very spiritual person, but I don't have, like, a strong belief system, even though I would like one.
Okay. And finally, have you ever thought about changing this lifestyle you have made for yourself? Why? And do you think others should follow in your footsteps, and why?
I think about eating meat every single day. I'm a foodie at heart, so it's really hard to, like, see a really good burger, like, something really, really good on a menu and be like, oh, I wish that was, like, a portobello mushroom instead of a big hunk of beef. So, like, I wish I didn't have the belief system that I did, but I do, and that's not something that I see changing in the foreseeable future. However, I wouldn't say that the lifestyle that I live needs to be adapted by other people purely because I feel like it's such, like, a mindset kind of thing. Like, I wouldn't be a vegetarian if I didn't find the entire concept of eating meat gross, so it's not something that I would just try to push on someone. It's just kind of something that happens.